You know that in business you have to monitor cash flow. It's very important, right? And it's the same thing in love, but you have to monitor cash flow. And you also have to monitor love flow. Because that's what keeps the relationship going. So through different seasons, you have to be checking, what does this person need? How can I communicate love to my partner to make sure it doesn't get to the point where they're saying, hey, we have to declare bankruptcy and fold up the business or the marriage, right? And then another thing is logistics.
When you're looking at the business side of love, you actually have to consider the bank balances of your relationship.
That's a nice one.
So you must look at the emotional bank balance of your relationship. You must look at the social bank balance of your relationship. Emotional bank balance of your relationship is where we talk about love languages, right? To say what is in the emotional bank account. Am I loving her the way she needs to be loved? Is she loving me the way I need to be loved? Those are conversations that you need to take critical steps. There are like 7 things that you must do to ensure that you maintain your emotional bank balance. There's also
social.
Yeah, there's the social bank balance, right? What does the social bank balance do? The social bank balance talks about how do we maintain the quality of life that we want to do. Are we sure that the way we are living will be able to maintain that status of the quality of life?
Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. We're happy to have you on the show with us today. And you know, on this channel, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and in your relationships. Yes. My name is Anietie Bature, and I'm in the studio today with my husband,
the one and only Kingsley Bature. We don't get two. I just me, myself, and us.
And you are welcome. Welcome to all of you on IG. Thank you for joining us today, and to everyone on YouTube and Facebook, to those who are live with us on the show, and to everyone who will watch this show afterwards. You are welcome.
Yes, you're all welcome. And I see you guys online on YouTube. Maiwa, how are you doing? Queen Debbie, we celebrate you. All you guys. And if you can hear us, please, loud and clear. You can hear us loud and clear. Please type 111. Please type 111 in the chat box, so we know that you are here and we are ready to go.
And if you are new today, you can just go ahead and type hashtag first timer, so that we know that you are a first timer, and you can also add where you're joining us from. Yes.
You know, there are some people that are online that are already telling me he said the word on the t-shirts, the word on the t-shirt is outstanding. It's deliberate, yo. It's deliberate, yo. You know, when you encounter me, you have to encounter the supreme version of yourself. You can't encounter me and then go back without encountering supremacy. Baby, I'm on a road today. Let's see. I'm going somewhere to happen.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Okay. All right. So let's go.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I can see your responses. 111, 111. Yeah, sound is good.
Fantastic.
Well, yeah.
We are happy that the show is beginning. So today,
but okay, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say what the topic for today is. But it seems like there's something else in your mind.
Can you imagine my wife saying first time at Ikimu? I mean,
I see.
all the way. Okay. So we celebrate all the way from Ikimu. You know, actually, to get to Ikimu from here, right, is the same time that somebody that is going to Dubai will reach them. So I can understand. So let's celebrate Maiwa the same way we are celebrating the guys that are joining us from the UAE. Maiwa will celebrate you. Gideon Ibenyo will celebrate you. We celebrate all the way from Abuja.
Yes.
Yeah, that's our Abuja family. We celebrate you guys.
Yes, we're happy to be here. And I'm sure Debbie's already on.
Yeah, Debbie is there.
Debbie is there. Yes.
She's one that talk about my t-shirt. Supremacy. You always have to self-talk yourself into. You always have to self-talk into the version of yourself that is able to achieve the dream that you have in your mind. This is just free for today. As in, I'm just giving free lines. See yourself. But the truth is, our dreams are things that we always feel like, I can only make it happen when I dream. But when I wake up, reality hits me and I can't accomplish it. But you have to always see yourself in the version of your mind that has the ability to achieve that dream. So sometimes you have to do that self-talk to get you there.
Okay, thank you very much, Fame. Hi, welcome.
Hey, friends with Fame, we celebrate you. We celebrate you. When loving you is wrong. So what I was going to say before was the fact that the team actually put out a poll for this just before this session. Yeah, and the questions were: have you ever been in love with someone who was wrong for you? Have you ever been in love with someone who is wrong for you? And interestingly, we had 67% of the people say no.
Oh, fantastic.
They've never been in love with someone they think is wrong for them. But my but there is that you know that a number of times when you love somebody, your ability to judge whether the person is right or wrong is a lot more inhibited, because a friend of
time and see how life unfolds, So they are in a terrible situation, but each day they hope for the best. Okay, so I guess that is something that it will be interesting to hear what people have to say about it. So, all right, people. So let's see. Do we have any interesting comments yet?
We just experienced. I just got comments from another platform that we went out on. We went out on YouTube.
Oh,
but please, if you're on YouTube, can you confirm that we're back on?
Okay,
YouTube,
let's see what's up.
Back on.
Can you see my husband's problem solving face? That kind we just experienced some setup right now.
So please, if you're online, if you're on YouTube and you can hear us, please type 111. If you can hear us, please type 111. Yes. Yeah. Because on other platforms, I think we're fine.
Yes, on IG we're fine.
We're fine. We're fine on IG. We're fine on Facebook. We're fine on LinkedIn. Yeah. But
we're on LinkedIn today.
Yes, we're on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. YouTube is back up. Thank you. So,
okay, great.
So we can flow. We can flow.
Yes, so we can fire on. So yes, we're saying when you're faced with this situation, I mean, if you actually find out that you're in a relationship with someone that is not input good for you, right? Or someone that is not just not good for you, someone that is clearly bad for you. You know, your poll response was 67% said they haven't been in that situation before. So that means 33% have been in that situation before. So somebody say, let's break it down into further. Out of every 10 people, say 3+ people have been in that situation before. And when you make it look that way, it's quite a number.
Yeah,
right?
it's a significant number.
Yeah,
it's
so it's that 33% that we are looking at. And then the 67 who have not been there, congratulations. We're happy for you. And we would like to talk today about how you can try to prevent yourself from ever getting into this situation. And if you have some cool tips that you have applied in your life so far to help you not get into that situation where you are in a relationship with someone that is clearly not good for you, please feel free to share. Hi, Trin Yan. Drop a note, drop a comment. If you really have a lot of critical, concrete points to share, you can even come online. You can come on the show and talk with us.
All right. So I'm looking at. So you are paying attention to 33%. Me, I'm also looking at the 67% that says they have not been in those kinds of relationship, and I'm looking at them from the point of there was something I put on my post, and some people were giving me some feedbacks, right? Something I put up on my post, and the question I asked is, are you the wrong love? Are you the one, or are you the one loving wrong? Question: are you the wrong love, or are you the one that is loving wrong? So it's a critical question to say. You may say, I have not been in a relationship with someone that I think is bad for you, but it's possible that you are the one that was bad for somebody else. So you may not know. And a lot of breakups don't have feedback session after the breakup happens for the person to tell you this was the reason why I broke up with you, or this was the reason why. Do you understand? Which is something that has to happen, that needs to happen, because a lot of people walk into relationships with several doors left open in former experiences, and you need to always close the door to relationships. Let me hang that one there. Jimoski has come online. Jimoski always has something to say. Jimoski says, nowadays, it is difficult to see someone who appreciates your love. Jimoski is here. If you are not ready to kill yourself, they will not see the love you have for them. Jimoski, so true. So true from your perspective, because I'm sure you have experiences that have shown that if you are not ready to kill yourself, they will not see the love for them. But there are some people that you will even kill yourself and they'll still not see it. because when we say when loving you is wrong, there are many perspectives to it. You can be killing yourself for somebody and they can't see it. Why? Because you remember what we said last week? You are probably not speaking the person's love language. So no matter how much you are hanging yourself and dying, the person cannot see you because the person cannot relate.
But then there are some people that, like you said, can see your efforts, can see all that you're doing, but for them it's not enough. Or maybe because you think you are in a love relationship with them, but they think that they're just using you as a means to an end. They're not necessarily interested in all this stuff that you are doing. You're doing it, it's nice, yeah, it's good. They can enjoy whatever benefits you're bringing to the relationship, right? What that you're bringing to their lives, but really they don't have any plan of staying with you for the long haul. So you will just keep giving, and then one day you realize, hopefully you realize the truth soon enough, and you can get out of that kind of relationship. Because I mean, it's just not nice, it's just not pleasant. It's good when one person is giving, the other person is giving, one person is getting, the other person is getting. It's more like, hey, this thing is, mutually beneficial. It's happening for you, it's happening for me. I'm happy, you're happy, everybody is getting something out of it and feels fulfilled in that relationship.
Well,
the way you're keeping your face, you're sounding like you're looking like that sounds too good to be true.
No. Actually, what I am thinking about is I want to put you on the spot right here.
Oh, yeah?
I want to put you on the spot right here. How can you tell? How can you tell? How can you tell that someone is the wrong love for you? How can you tell
that somebody is the wrong love?
Yeah, how can you tell that somebody is the wrong love for you? How can you tell that how can you tell that a relationship is the wrong one for you? I remember our description, we spoke about relationship. It may be a love boyfriend girlfriend relationship, maybe a husband and wife relationship. It may even be a relationship with your job. Maybe yes, your job is a relationship. Some people are in a toxic relationship with their job. It's the wrong love. Yeah, because you can say, I'm passionate about this thing, but the thing you're passionate about, is it good for you? Is it working for you? So how can you tell that a particular love is not good for you?
Okay, so first and foremost,
I put you on the spot, but you didn't see me coming. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Answer them.
I am not worried about your question. It's not shaking me.
You're not shaking.
Yeah.
You're not shaking.
So I will hear my answer now.
Oh yeah, now let's hear. Please carry paper and pencil.
Relationships are meant to make you better. It's supposed to improve you. It's supposed to be that relationships bring about leverage for you to do more with yourself and be more than you were on your own. Right? Relationships are meant to be an advantage, an asset, right? Something that gives you should I say upper hand, an edge, an extra perspective, extra ability, extra energy, extra everything. So it's supposed to be that if somebody saw you before, you alone, you were okay, you were fantastic, right? But by the time you get into a relationship, it should be that you are even better than the fantastic that you were on your own. So if you now get into a relationship and you find out that the resources that you had, that you were using by yourself and you were fantastic, are now getting drained to the point where you are getting impoverished, where you are less rather than more.
Wow.
Where you are not as happy as you used to be, where you are diminishing instead of improving, where you are retrogressing instead of advancing, where you begin to say, oh, the good old days, where your past is better than your present.
Wow.
And you can see that all of this backward, all of these negatives, you can link all of them to this person. Do I need to say it by myself that relationship is not good for you?
It's a bad market.
Or that person is not a good fit for you? You know? And unfortunately, see, it's not that the person is necessarily a bad person. No. It's not necessarily that the person is evil or the person has witchcraft or whatever it is. It's not that the person is the one that is deliberately pulling, not necessarily. But it may just be that the synergy is not working. The union is not there. The things that need to happen, the alignment, the cooperation, the collaboration, the everything that's meant to happen cannot happen because you guys just don't fit. Now, unfortunately, when this thing happens, most people will start saying, since this person came into my life, everything has been going down. And then they say, the person is a witch. The person hates me. This person must have gone to do something to impede my progress. They start looking at the person. See, sometimes it's not the person, it's the union. Sometimes it's not the person,
It's the union.
It's the union.
Please elaborate.
It's that the two of you do not jive. The two of you do not go together. The two of you are not aligned. One person is going to this way, the other person is going to the other way. You have no business being together. But sometimes life, circumstances, entanglements bring people to the point where instead of them to see clearly, instead of them to be objective about the situation and say, hey, the way I'm seeing this thing is not working. It doesn't look like we are meant to be together. And to just move on. They start saying, but we've already come. I've
invested so much in this relationship.
You know, some people have spent so much time. Some people, but I've already slept with. You know, because they're thinking, my plan was always that the first guy I sleep with is the person I'm going to marry and spend to do. And then because you now slept with this one, and you've not yet married, but can still person not good for you. But like what? You know, some other people, but at least he's already or she's already helping me out financially and stuff, and I'm okay now because of him. But you can see that it's not working, but because of money or financial support and so on, you stay. There are so many reasons why people allow themselves to remain in those relationships. Sometimes it's fear. Unfortunately, because there are situations where, you know, we talked about where it's not necessarily the person, it's the union. But there are certain cases where it is clearly the person. Example.
But before you give the example,
okay. You were asking me, so how did I do now that you feel like you put me on the spot?
I put you on the spot. Let me tell you how you did. Somebody said, "Mommy, AKB is on fire." That's how you did. You know,
thanks, Debbie.
You know, so I was just going to stop you there before you give the example to tell you that, you know, we did the poll before the show started.
Yeah.
Now, before the show started, 67% said they've never been in a relationship with someone that they that was wrong for them, that was bad for them. Well, but since the show started, the scale has moved, and now 62% say that they have been in a relationship with someone that was wrong for them. So, if you have been in a relationship with someone that's wrong for you, and you are online, please drop a comment with the hashtag wrong love. So, just drop a comment for us online, whether you're watching from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Don't worry, very soon we'll be coming to TikTok. And so just drop a comment with the hashtag wrong love. We want to see the comments and probably see what would the most exciting comment will be for us, because it's interesting. It has shifted 62%. You know, since the show started.
This is the beautiful thing about statistics. You know? Okay. Anyway, so yes, we were saying. So should I go ahead?
Let me take one or two comments. Chinedu said you can tell that the person is wrong for you, that the person is a wrong love from their commitment. So if they are not committed, they may be wrong for you. Well, Chinedu, that one too can be debated. You know, some people may be right for you, but they are also checking you out. Do you understand? Checking out your own to see whether are we going. You know, she mentioned something about sometimes it's not a bad person, a good person, is that the union is not working. In which case, the two people in the union need to now sit down and look where are the rough edges that are not allowing us to magnet. You know, when you have magnets and they are rough, there's sand on the surface, it makes it difficult for the magnet to catch. Now, so some relationships are like that. They would actually catch if people take time to sandpaper the magnets in order for them to be a connection. Are you people feeling me? I'm using an example that you can use.
Oh my goodness. I have Easy World on IG saying hello. Hi, Easy World. Thanks for joining us today on IG.
Jimoski said PK eyes expression is like someone who is not. Jimo, it's you that will know. It's you that will know. It's sure I'm doing. I don't know what you are seeing. I don't know what you are seeing. Victor, stay over. We missed you for some time. I know it's as if you went on vacation. We missed
something. Maybe he went on a social media path.
No, he will tell us. Victor, if I say wrong love, wrong yourself. If you are online, please tell us so that Please, guys, send a link. Let Victor, because we celebrated him on his birthday, but he wasn't here. He wasn't around. So let Victor give us some jokes, some jokes on Wrong Glove. Who is Super Sam? The name is
Sam. First time I'm seeing you here.
Yes.
Welcome, Super Sam. He says the last relationship I was in. I had even done introduction, even when the red flag was so much that I felt I was living in a red light district.
So the red flag was so obvious. It was so obvious, but he still continued.
Well, but he sounds like he got out of it.
So Super Sam would like to hear. Did you stay in?
Out?
Did you? Yeah.
If you stayed in, did it get better?
Yeah. And what did you do to make it get better? Because we're talking about love and things desired. Because a lot of times we desire certain things. Kelechi said sandpaper the magnet. Yes. Kelechi, I celebrate Kelechi. You need to tell us. Chinedu says wrong. Please, you guys, somebody needs to call into the show. I think we can take 1 or 2 calls. Guys, please share the link for them to just call into this show. So you can go on now with your example.
Yeah, so we talked first about the scenario where it's not the person, it's the union. But then there's also the part where it is the person, right? So, if you biology, I always talk about this thing in biology. We talk about different kinds of relationships, right, in an ecosystem, and you talk about mutually beneficial,
Yeah.
And you look at it in symbiosis, right?
Yeah.
And in that case, you get, I get, you're happy, I'm happy, your needs are met, my needs are met, so there's no problem. But when you come to a situation where it's all one-sided, it's one person gaining, full stop. The other person is the one giving, making all the sacrifices,
the adjustments,
keeping the ball rolling, giving and giving. Is like the person is using their blood to lubricate
the relationship. Wow.
So that they can keep moving, It's like, no. In some cases, apart from the fact that it is only one person that is giving and the other person is completely not interested, there's the case where the other person is being like abusive, right? And abuse could be in different forms, not just physical, right? It could be emotional abuse, it could be other forms. So you really have to check. Am I being actually treated in this relationship? Is somebody actually treating me in a way that I am in pain, I am suffering, I am unhappy, I am getting towards the point where I'm depressed? Is somebody breaking me down and isolating me, such that you're no longer connected to your family, you're no longer connected to your friends, you're now all alone and completely dependent on this person and so on? You need to check some of those things. Is somebody keeping me small? Right? Is somebody preventing me from becoming all that I can be deliberately?
Keeping me small. Keeping me small.
Hashtag keeping me small. Is somebody keeping you small? Is somebody saying, is somebody just standing in your way, burning your bridges, tampering with things that could have helped you advance so that you cannot move forward? You have to check all of this. Is somebody beating you so that you were misworded before, but now your face, you can't present it in public because of scars and bruises and all sorts, It's not somebody will say it's not only ladies that are getting beaten, or some ladies are beating guys too.
It's both sides.
And sometimes the beating that the ladies are giving the guys may not necessarily be that it is when you were awake. Because you claim that you love somebody, you deal with the person when you people are awake, now you will now go and sleep. And then the person will now decide to attack you at night while you are sleeping and you are defenseless. What are you going to do? You wake up in the morning with your own black eyes.
All right.
But I mean, that's the kind of scenario where the issue is the person. So you have to look at both instances. Is it that the union isn't working? Is it that the person isn't right for you? in both cases, you need to do something about.
All right, so we are midway through the show, and we need to take we have two people backstage at the studio that we just need to come in and let's just hear from them. But we'll just take a brief interlude and we will get them.
I want to recover my investment, so I'm selling all the equipment.
They are not going in the same direction.
Previously on Common Sense for Relationship.
Imagine that you say, okay, this year I want us to produce, let's say, 1,000 units of our product as a business. And then the other person decides that this year I want to recover my investment, so I'm selling all the equipment.
They are not going in the same direction. You're not going in the same direction.
How is that going to work? How is it going to work?
You have to be in the same ship, heading in the same direction. That's the business part. They don't always teach when they are always talking about love, because people love love. Do you understand? People love love. People love to watch romantic comedy and read. Don't you guys don't say anything. This generation may not know, but those of us that know, they read M&B, Mills and Boons.
Okay, we're back. So, because that was highlight from
last week. It was fun. So we're here, and we have Super Sam. Super Sam, you have to tell us if this is your first time. So we're bringing up Super Sam Victor Silva.
Yeah.
Victor, all the way from UAE. My man, how now?
Hi, Victor.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, long time. I got busy with work.
Imagine.
So,
Yeah. We also have Maiwa is here. Maiwa, can you hear us? Is your sound okay? And we have Super Sam. If your sound is okay, just want to check that your sound is okay, and then we'll all just take 1 minute each and just roll, and then we can take it from there. Super Sam, can you hear us? Okay, that's
hello.
Super Sam, can you hear us?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, Super Sam, who is
can
Super
you hear
Sam?
me, sir?
This is your first time. Your name is very catchy.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Hello, sorry, I'm on the road. I'm on the road. That's why my cam is off. I'm on the road. I'm trying to get home.
That's not a problem. Okay, so Victor, I guess we'll go with you first. So please go ahead and share.
Okay, mine is funny, and the funny thing is that even in my own case, I don't know. I can't even say, I was in a relationship, because it was something that we couldn't call it. I can't label it that now that I was in a relationship, but the entire experience for like 3 years of it felt like that. And on my own part, I was like, oh man, this is love. I love this person. It was all focus and all that stuff. On the other end, and there was a goal, and there was always communication, so that it's not look like you're believing on something and you're assuming something. So you ask questions. This is the goal. You made the other person aware of what you want and everything. And in the point on where your friendship, it now gets to the point where everything you talk about, you're doing, the feeling, it feels like a relationship, but you can't call it that. And that's because this other person keeps saying things like, based on my history, I'm trying to take my time. I want to make the right decisions and everything. And then this stretches for like 3 years. So for 3 years, I can't say I'm in a relationship or I'm not in a relationship. And then when you have that conversation of, hey, look, if this is not going to work, can you just let me know so I can walk away and move on? And you now say things like, oh, well, if I see you with somebody else, I'll get upset. If I see that was, it was...
time wasters, that's what I call them.
Time wasters.
Okay, so Victor was telling us about a relationship. Lasted for 3 years. It wasn't quite a relationship because it wasn't defined, and the person just wouldn't say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after 3 years, we will get the rest of the gist from him when he
comes back. So yeah. Maiwa, you can hit us. If you can hear us, Maiwa.
Yeah, I can hear you. APK, good evening. Good evening, Mrs. Bature.
Good evening.
So for me, I think my case is just a classic example of wrong love, or loving someone, maybe loving the wrong person, and also being in a situation I'm the wronged, or I'm the person wronging the other person in the relationship. So
The person
it
wronging
was
the other person.
as in it was a combination of everything for me. But like it was a relationship where I really loved the person like so much. So it was enough for me to overlook all the red flags. Like so, like just
Oh,
having
you
that
love the
conversation with
person, you
yourself.
overlook the red flag.
Yes, yeah. So like, okay, can I live with this? Okay, can I live with this? Can I handle this? Like, but then over time, like things, perspective shifts. You grow up, and then you realize that okay, it's not necessary to go through all this stress. And then also getting to learn about yourself that okay, these are the things that I also do to wrong this person. This is the way I also wrong this person, and then trying to learn from all of those experiences before entering into another relationship. So that was just my own
Yeah.
story.
Thank you so much, man.
Wow, wow.
You know, it's interesting when we talk about how sometimes people feel they're so in love that they overlook red flags. And there's the part where people feel, well, I love this person so much that I can actually ignore all of these terrible signs. Or sometimes you feel the person doesn't love you enough or does not love you, and then you say, I love you enough for the two of us. Ah, it sounds so sweet, but
Yes, I love you for the two of us.
because eventually that love will finish. That thing that you're feeling that you say is enough.
For the
That
two of us.
me, I'm the only one who has it, but I will use it and cover the parts we're supposed.
You know, sometimes
One day.
the best people think this love thing is a 100-meter dash, but when you find out that it is a marathon, it means that your plan, you have to plan for a marathon. So the whole idea of I love you enough for the both of us, it's like
One day,
one day. Super Sam, you are on. Super Sam, let's hear you. Super Sam, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I
Super
can hear
Sam,
you, sir.
can you hear us? Yeah, let's hear you. What was the
I can hear
situation?
you, sir.
Were you the wrong love, or were you the one loving somebody wrong?
I think my case is different because number one, she has been my girlfriend from secondary school.
Oh.
So she has been my girlfriend from secondary school. So we got back somehow we just got back. I didn't plan it, but it just happened. I sent out a random broadcast message on WhatsApp. So she replied, and that was how everything just got back. So, and I told her, I said, please, can we just keep this thing on the low and work on it and pray on it? I don't want distractions from family and all that. Let's just take it easy. She agreed. I said, fine. Before I go know what's in the happen, my uncle from the village called me. Say, are you trying to get married? Yeah. I was like, okay, no problem, fine. We're still on track. So she doesn't stay in Lagos. She came to Lagos to see me. I left the office. I went to the airport to pick her. While I was taking her home, she was chewing this gum violently, as in, bah, go, bah, go, bah. I was like, babe, we are outside now. We are outside. Can you just take it easy? Reduce this. I told her politely, calmly. The driver was not even hearing what we were saying. She ignored me. She was just chewing. So later, I dropped her at home. I went back to work. When I came back, and I asked her, while we were talking, and I asked her, why? I told you something. She said, I did not talk like a man. And I was like, how do you mean by talking like a man? I said, I'm supposed to talk word. I say, see, I don't want to be shouting on my woman. If I tell you something, we should be having a discussion. If I tell you something, let's be having an agreement. I beg.
This gist was just getting sweet. Because
especially when somebody is chewing gum violently. Okay, let's hear people.
Because you can finish yourself, so we can just say it.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I don't know what happened. My internet just went off. So what I was saying was, so it was just a thing of, okay, we can't label this, we can't call this a relationship. You don't want to let me go, but you still don't also want to commit. So it just feels like we're just going nowhere, and it just feels like a total waste of time. This person, it wasn't there was no red flag, because this person was an amazing person, but we're not in the same headspace based on what I wanted and
The
where she
union.
was. So you understand. So I just like at some point, no matter how you think you're in love with this person, you just need to say, okay, you know what, this is not gonna go anywhere. Like
Yeah.
this is not gonna go to
Yeah.
where what I want and everything. So I'm sure if I had not made that decision, I would have still been a a single bachelor at 40 right now.
Waiting around. Then maybe one day she'll give you her invitation.
Maybe one day she'll give
You
you an
know.
invitation.
So but yeah, but that's my story.
Wow.
Wow.
Thanks for sharing,
Wow.
Victor. I call them time wasters. There's people they can linger. They'll just be hanging around in your space.
Yeah,
And
you people know the
they'll
person.
be coming close. They'll be coming closeness.
And you see, there's something interesting about like what Victor has shared, and also maybe similar to what Super Sam was sharing earlier before he got cut off. I think he's coming back. He's backstage, but we'll see whether his sound is okay. And something interesting there is the fact that sometimes people feel like it's just this person that can really love me, that can really get me. Do you understand?
Yep.
It's just this person that can really love me.
So they stay.
So they stay because they're thinking maybe I don't know if I'll find somebody else that can love me like this person. This person gets me.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And another sometimes another issue is you get into a relationship with someone or into a in quote friendship with somebody or something, undefined relationship, and you're thinking, well, let's see how it will go, and then you do 1 year, you do 2 years, because you're thinking, well, maybe the person wants to get to know me better before we start they start committing or saying things like I want to go out with you or I would like to marry some, and then by the time you're thinking that the person should be saying something, the person is acting closer but still not saying anything. Then you're now thinking, but if I leave, I've spent 2 years, I've spent I've given so much of my time into this. How do I start all over again?
So it means that in order for when we get, I said something that a friend of mine said from the beginning, that when a man is in love, another mumu is born. So it means that when you begin to feel like you've gotten your heart, because they say the heart wants what it wants. When your heart begins to want what it wants, that is the time when you need to look for common sense and ask your head, oh boy, are you wanting what the heart wants? Because the heart wants what it wants now, it won't see well. Somebody in your faculty, in your whole system has to be seeing well. If it is not your heart, then it is your head. If your head is not seeing well, borrow your friend's head. If your friend's head is also not seeing well, come to common sense for relationship. You will see well. Because it is imperative that you see clearly on matters that the heart has been captured. Matters for which the heart has been captured. Sometimes it is a job. There's a job that offers you something. Your heart is captured by the job, but the environment is toxic. It's affecting your emotional well-being, psychological well-being, social well-being, and all of that. So you need to do what? You need to be thinking through love. You don't just get carried away. Oh, he swept me off my feet. Sisters always like that. He swept me off my feet. Yeah. As he's sweeping you, my brother, my sister, better look for Parker. Because as he's sweeping you, because if he's the one that has the broom and the Parker, it means that he can take you anywhere he's going. But if he's sweeping you and you have Parker, it means that there's a place where you will stop. If the Parker is your own, you will stop and check, please, where am I really going?
That's a good question you should ask your heart when you say, I'm following my heart.
I'm following my heart. Where is the heart going?
Where is the heart leading you to?
Bam.
So you have to check. Yes.
The Superstar is back on stage. Superstar, please check your audio. We had an issue with your audio the last time. Superstar, my wife is also there. My wife, you want to round up. Superstar, can you hear us? I think his audio is
it's problematic.
It's problematic.
My wife's there.
My wife, you're there. Let's just take 1 minute because we have to start rounding up.
Yep.
And
hello, PK. Thanks for having me again. Yeah, so I think one really important thing in this like this whole scenario is that we just have to just eventually just like that point, get to that breaking point where you're like, okay, like you get to feel like, can I work with this? Can I hold on? What if I will she get better? What if she says she's gonna get better? Because in my situation that actually happened. Like she was like, you know what, like I'm ready, I'm committed to do this, I'm gonna get better. But then and that happened like a few times. And the way love works is that at the moments where the butterflies start coming back again, it's just like everything goes away. You forget everything the person did and all that. But at some point, you just have to just, okay, you know what, like this is not going to work. Let's just end this now. And I think one thing that really helped me through my process was having people I was accountable to. So I eventually opened up to people
Yes.
and told them that this was what was going on, this was what I was going through. So people that if I ever said I was going back, they'd be like, Uncle, going back to where?
And do you?
They
It's
do
something within you.
exactly. So, but like she's not a terrible person. Like she really is an amazing person. But I think it was just
The
we're
union
not
didn't
just
work.
right for each other. We're not wrong people. We're just not right for each other.
Mm. Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing. There's something
Thank you.
I said or wrote in husband material, and that is when it comes to this issue of people waiting and people keeping other people waiting. Somebody just perpetually not saying anything, and you're just going on. You can't. You really shouldn't allow that to happen to you, right? And why am I saying that? You should be in control of your life, of what is happening in your life, and not leave the issues and the critical decisions and timelines of your life to another person.
Hmm.
So, for instance, you should know around what time do I want to get married. It shouldn't be whenever somebody asks me. Do you understand? Or whenever I find it, or whenever this person that I like finally says yes.
Or when the Lord wills.
So
That's one that used to pain me. So when the Lord wills, like I said, I'll get my is when the Lord brings the right person for me. Excuse me, there's no right person for you.
or Garden of Eden scenario kind of stuff, right?
He's not doing that again. As in, he did it for Adam. Are you Adam? He's not doing that again.
Somebody said that. Actually, there's someone said that even Adam, God did not choose a wife for him. God gave him alternatives. God gave him options, and he chose that. But God did not say, Adam, this is your wife. God brought Eve, and he said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh.
Bam.
Now, so anyway.
But the I always like to give people a healthy dose of realism, right? In addition to all of the spiritual and psychological and social and cultural things that we carry with us into our lives. There are so many things that a lot of times we carry with us into our lives that we don't even know where we got them from, but they have become things that we got stuck with. Who told you that it is only when you are going to marry that God will talk to you? Because somebody says, is she the person that you want to marry? You say, no, God has not spoken to me. God has not spoken to me. But do you understand? But has he spoken to you on which food you should eat this afternoon? Do you understand? So sometimes we get a bit dramatic. Sometimes it's culture that has held us and has bound us in this place where you may even meet someone that both of you can work together, because like I said, that whole concept of this is the right person for me, in which case the person is the right guy. Do you understand?
Yeah, so
the concept of right guy and wrong guy is a product of the both of you in that equation, just like you mentioned, that the union sometimes doesn't work. So you can have two people that are good guy, good lady, but the union doesn't work. At that point, both of you becomes how do they put it in physics? Poles that do what? That repel instead of attracting. So at the point where you guys are repelling, you are wrong for each other at that point, except you do something that does what? That changes the polarity of the relationship. Then you people can begin to do what? can begin to attract.
Yeah.
So it's something that people have to understand. So it's not that somebody is the bad person. That means that's why he's wrong. Or
Yeah.
somebody is the good person. That's why he's right.
Yeah.
So we have to adjust those thinkings.
Yes, and you usually say it's a template, not a person. Because some people get really stuck on person, right? Like it has to be this person, but in actual fact, it's a template. It's a kind of person. So let me say how someone else put this, right? And I completely agree with person's logic because I feel the same way. The guy says if you say it has to be a particular person, then what about the people who have died? What about the particular person that was meant to marry them?
Yes.
Does it mean that person, if they go ahead and get married, are now going to be married to the wrong person because the person they were meant to marry died? Or what of the case where a young man feels convicted, right, and convinced that he heard from God and this is the lady for him, and he approaches the lady, and the lady says, "Mbano, I don't care what God said to you. I don't like you. I am never going to marry you in this life."
And he hasn't said anything to me.
Does it mean that that young man will now remain single for the rest of his life because the one person that was meant for him has refused to marry him in spite of the fact that he heard from God? These are some of the things. So it's a kind of person. It's a template, right?
It's a template.
Yes. And as I was saying, you do not leave the timelines of your life to somebody. You, with all that, with all your arsenal, like I say, with all your brain, with all the leading of the Holy Spirit, with all the help of God, with all the guidance from mentors and teachers and all of that, you should know for yourself, this is around the time that I want to settle down or I want to get married. And you should be able to say, okay, let's say I want to get married at 30, right? And I am now 21 and somebody is wasting my time like this. It's not a problem, right? Because I'm 21, I say I'm getting married at 30. I have a whole 9 years.
Time.
I can wait for 3-4 years and check it out. If it's not working, I can leave. But if I am 28 and somebody's trying to waste my time and I want to get married at 30, then what should be happening? I should be at some point I should start asking the guy or the lady, exactly this thing that we're doing, like what is really happening here? Are we doing this or are we not doing this? Yeah, because you have your timelines. And you cannot be waiting until the day or the time or the year or the month you wanted to get married and nothing happens. Then you now tell the person, excuse me, actually I wanted to get married this month. But you have not said anything.
You have not said anything.
Then it's at that point the person will tell you, oh, actually, I just like you as a friend. So what's going to happen? Is it at that point you would have wasted time, then you now say that means that by default you just extended your calendar. So be in control of the timelines of your life.
Okay. Can I say what I want to say now? Thank you. There's a question from Ricky Felix. He said, is wrong love when the both parts are not having the same beliefs, and even if they try to work it out, but it's not working? This is from experience. So they try to work it out, but it's not working. I think we have given some kind of
but you know the thing is, beliefs are really fundamental.
They are critical.
Beliefs are critical. Beliefs are core. Beliefs is like the foundation of a house. You can disagree on things like paint that you use for your wall after you have built the house. It's not too much of a problem, right? You can disagree on whether the finishing for the chair is leather or some other kind of fabric
material.
Yes, but you cannot be disagreeing about things like foundation. Example, one person says, I want foundation for a skyscraper. The other person says, I want foundation for a bungalow. Stuff like that. Those things are like core. They are critical. So that's where beliefs fall.
So what I'm hearing you say is that when the disagreement is on the basis of beliefs and condition, both of you are wrong at that point. the love, if you cannot agree, that love is,
if you cannot agree on the fundamentals, you cannot agree on values, cannot agree on beliefs, cannot agree on conviction.
Okay.
The wahala will be plenty now. You can go ahead and say, but I really love the person in spite of the fact that he believes this way and I believe that way. Yes, because you haven't had issues that are affect you directly. So you say, well, fine, he's fine, I'm fine. Enter now, you see. You just be faced with so many challenges and so many issues, so many reasons for conflict, and you just be having unnecessary headache.
Okay,
Yeah,
we have information to tie this up.
All right.
But I'm still going to put you on the spot again.
Go ahead.
I'm on the road today. Don't touch me. You can't touch me. So if someone, just for people out there, if someone has discovered that they are in a relationship that is wrong, quote unquote, for them, whether it is professional, whether it is social, whether it is, but you've discovered that you're in a wrong relationship, or that the person that you are loving like this is bad for your BP. It can be your emotional BP, your social BP, or whatever. If you discover that someone is wrong for you, what should you do?
So I usually say when it comes to things like this, you always have to look at the two sides: single
and married.
Married. If you're single, it's so easy. You see that we don't fit each other, we don't match each other. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Just be finding your way. So because really, be assured that there are other people in the world. There are many human beings on this planet. Please be assured that there are other people out there that you can like, that you can get into a relationship with, that can jive with you, and you people have a happy future together. So don't have that, if I leave him, will anybody else love me? Please don't do that to yourself. Marriage is serious, and your life after you get married is a very long time. And that long time can be spent in happiness and joy and peace, or can be spent in misery, confusion, and sorrow.
It's up to you.
Yes, it's up to you. Now, the other part is for people who are married. So this one is for whatever reason you ended up getting married to somebody, and you're finding out after the fact that they are not good for you. Okay, so this is where you go and meet the counselors. This is where you go and talk to the people who know how to handle these issues, right? Because they could help you to know how to navigate that situation. It may be that you may find a path to peace and a path to a future that works, and it may be that truly you need to go your separate ways. But it's usually good to not take those decisions in isolation, because you are right inside it and you may not be seeing very clearly. It's like you're in the pit, you're trying to get out, or you're in the middle of the maze and you really can't figure your way out. But somebody else with an area of view can easily tell you, go straight, turn right, go left, stop here, and so on. So yes, get that help, and let them walk you through the specific and peculiar issues of your situation, right? So that you can now know how to go forward. Yep, that's what I have to say.
They're just feeling like nobody can put you on the spot. So I put you on the spot now 2 times, and you just wriggle out, as if I got this covered. But anyway, so sometimes when loving you is wrong, there are different things you need to do, and I would also speak from the professional point of view, because a number of cases that we're getting are cases of people that are frustrated at their job, and that also speaks to the kind of economy that we are. But it's happening all over the world. It's not only you. It's not only in Nigeria. It's happening all around the world. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of uncertainty. In fact, in business and management, we say that we are living in a VUCA reality, in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous reality. In which case, a lot of things are changing at the same time, almost like the price, the cost of dollar. Do you understand? Things are just changing, and businesses have to be taking these decisions. So, in taking decisions, some businesses are just trying to survive, and in trying to survive, they are not paying so much attention to the well-being of the people. The relationship gets toxic. So, the same way it happens in relationship, it happens in business. So you find a place where the business is just trying to survive. They are not paying attention to the staff and their well-being. So you find that this job that you love is suddenly wrong for you. What do you do about it? Right? Some of the things we have spoken about today are templates that you can adapt and you can adopt. Sometimes when we speak generically so that you can still use these things in your daily realities. Okay, so just listen to this show again and begin to extract it and see where you can adapt and adopt what works for you when you find yourself in a place where loving what you love is wrong for you. It's like I love sugar, I love sweets, I love ice cream, but it's wrong for me
at this time
in my life. It's wrong.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for being with us on the show today, and we would like to ask you to share this video, this link, if you have gotten value and you know there are many other people that can gain from this. Please share with them. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. Yes,
it's that red button. If you're watching on YouTube, just come. Yes, they don't need to charge. They don't start charging for it. It's
please
free.
Subscribe and yes, go
so that
ahead
we can
and
take this show to the permanent site.
Like.
And leave comment there. Tell us what you think about what we have said, and tell us what you think. You can ask us questions. We'll answer you privately.
Yeah, and if you have any serious topic
that you want us to address
in the future, feel
free
in the
comment section. Yes,
keep
it in the comment
yes,
section.
we look forward to receiving feedback from you. Okay, so thank you so much to everyone on IG, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. And like we always say, as you go through your day, remember, common sense is not so common. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.